The hair of the affrighted pedagogue the hair of the affrighted pedagogue rose upon his head with terror. What was to be done? To turn and fly now was too late. And besides, what chance was there of escaping ghost or goblin, if such it was, which could ride upon the wings of wind? Summoning up, therefore, a show of courage, he demanded in stammering accents, "Who are you?" Just then the shadowy object of alarm put itself in motion, and with a scramble and a bound stood at once in the middle of the road. Though the night was dark and dismal, yet the form of unknown might now in some degree be ascertained. I'm so bad at reading. He appeared to be a horseman of large dimensions, and mounted on a black horse of powerful frame. The stranger, however, quickened his horse to an equal pace. Ichabod pulled up and fell into a walk. Thinking to lag behind, the other did the same. His heart began to sink within him. He endeavored to resume his psalm tune, but his parched tongue clove to the roof of his mouth, and he could not utter to stave. Stave? Stave? I don't know. There was something in the moody and dogged silence of this pertanious companion that was mysterious and appalling. It was soon fearfully accounted for. On mounting a rising ground which brought the figure of his fellow traveler in a relief against the sky, gigantic in height and muffled in a cloak, Ichabod was horror-struck on perceiving that he was headless! That was an excerpt of The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, written by Washington Irving, and I just pulled up to the grounds in which this book was written on. And so I'm here to welcome you to episode 6 of Spooky Locations. We are diving into Sleepy Hollow, Tarrytown, New York, about a soft 45 to 50 minutes north of Manhattan, Brooklyn, where I live. However, it took me an hour and a half to get here because I drove here in rush hour. First, okay, so the place where Washington Irving lived and wrote this book is called SUNNYSIDE, and that's his manor, and it's been kept in pristine condition of the times when this was written, and I signed up for a tour at 10 o'clock, so I'm here on the dot, ready to do that. I'm walking up on SUNNYSIDE now, and you can see the Hudson River in the back there. It's gorgeous up here, and here we go. This was a great time to come because the fall foliage is in full swing. Full swing. Oh, you're good. Behind me, that is SUNNYSIDE, where Washington Irving lived. I found out something new on my little tour. Obviously, I couldn't take any photos or videos while I was inside. It's a national historical landmark, so they want to keep everything very protected, and everything was authentic, and it was super cool to see like his study intact from when he was writing. Like, I'm in the middle of a tour, so I'm like not trying to like interrupt the tour with like my own tour, but yeah, here I am, and I'm just gonna stop if someone walks by because I'm like self-conscious. But anyways, I'm on the grounds of SUNNYSIDE. So Washington Irving moved here when he was 15 from Manhattan when yellow fever broke out, and they came up here to get away. And then I found out during this tour that he actually wrote Sleepy Hollow and Rip Van Winkle while he was in Europe, but the whole storyline and the setting is based on this area, and the characters are actually based off of real people. So as we explore Sleepy Hollow, I will tell you who those people are, etc., because they supposedly haunt certain places in the town. So I hope you enjoyed those little scenic videos of SUNNYSIDE. I didn't feel like talking while I was actually at the house. because I was self-conscious, but I didn't feel any spirits while I was inside. But apparently Washington Irving and multiple members of his family haunt that place. He never married because his fiance died from tuberculosis before they could get married, and he never pursued anybody else, so he just wrote his entire life. Apparently his nieces also haunt that house. Also, apparently there's a woman on the grounds. This property is like much bigger than I thought. I'm just like kind of wandering around. The river is like way back there, so it's pretty big. Apparently she ate too many green apples and she haunts the grounds. So there's that one, and then all of the spirits that are inside of the house of Washington Irving and his family. Oh, now I'm on like a little bridge. That's fun. This is gorgeous. This is like a good time of year to come. Look at this. Wow. So while we're like starting this tour, let's talk about like the lands that we're on right now. Originally, before, you know, the Europeans, white people came over and took the land away from the Native Americans, this whole land of the Hudson Valley was occupied by the Mohican, also known as the Delaware tribe. And then this area was known as New Amsterdam. The like specific population of Native Americans were known, I'm gonna butcher this, the Wekatskek Indians. That is what they were called. Anyways, this area started to be occupied by the Dutch, and I've talked about this also, like going all the way down into Manhattan was known as New Amsterdam, and a lot of the old architecture around here, including Sunnyside, is based in like Dutch architecture, and the like steps that you could see on the side is apparently a Dutch architecture thing. Beautiful though. It's a beautiful house. It's like not even that big also. It's just like really gorgeous. This land is like beautiful. The Dutch were everything. Why did I write that? The Dutch were everything in this part. Great. Yeah, so when the British took over, that is when the name New York came into play, and that time span is kind of when the legend of Sleepy Hollow starts. So going to why this land is, this specific piece of land that we're on right now is famous is because of the story, the legend of Sleepy Hollow. So obviously it's a made up story, but a lot of it is based in true characters, people, and the legend of the headless Hessian. A Hessian was like a German soldier for hire back in the day of the Revolutionary War, and they didn't really have like anybody that they were like loyal to. You could just like hire them to kill people and they would kill whoever you wanted to. Apparently the Patriots would catch the German Hessian soldiers and they would decapitate them. And so the legend of the Headless Horseman originates with the Revolutionary War Hessian soldiers. Apparently the one that haunts Sleepy Hollow is buried in town, so I will locate that one when we get there. But so the story goes, there was a school teacher, Ichabod Crane. This is the fake story. Ichabod Crane comes into town and he is trying to get this girl, Katrina Van Tassel, and he, like, long story, it's a very short story. I listened to a podcast in like 90 minutes of them reading it to me, so yes, it's great. And the language is weird, but you get the gist of it. So he goes to like this dance, and the muscly guy, I can't remember his name, Brahm something, he tells him the story of the Headless Horseman. And then Katrina like ditches him. She's like, nah, I'm not trying to court you, man. And then he runs out into the woods after hearing the story of the Headless Horseman. Apparently, if you get to the end of the bridge over to the other side by the old Dutch church, the Headless Horseman can't go there, and so they go on the chase. That's the part of the story that I read to you, and he doesn't make it. They don't know what happened to him. Maybe he skipped town because she didn't want to marry him, or maybe he was caught by the Headless Horseman. We will never know, but it's also a fake story, so I don't care. Yeah, this story is why Sleepy Hollow is famous, and I love that they capitalize off that. It's the American way, capitalizing off of fake stories and stuff. So I'll just like walk around a little more, get some scenic shots, and then I'm gonna move on because I have another tour at 11:30. That was overall a really pleasant experience, very relaxing. My one takeaway is I thought it would be free to just like walk the grounds, and I did the tour just because I don't do anything fun, so I paid the $12 for the tour. But I thought you could just like come here for free and walk on the grounds, and they were very like, I don't know, secure as far as like not getting in without a ticket. So just so you know, they might harass you if you don't have a ticket for the tour. So yeah. This property was a central farming, milling, and trading center back in the mid-1600s. A nasty man, Frederick Phillips, he was a Dutch settler, a carpenter when he came over here, and he built an empire off of enslaved people that he had on this property, and then, you know, became a very, very wealthy person in the community. One of the, you know, this site is extremely haunted by the tortured souls of the enslaved people that he had on the property doing all of the hard work in order to build his empire. Therefore, the PHILIPSBURG Manor. And then he grew to like have thousands and thousands of acres of property in the Hudson Valley. All I know is that it's definitely haunted and stained with, you know, the souls of very angry energy and spirits, and, you know, is deep-seated in mistreatment of human beings. Most of these tours, like, take me back to, you know, the embarrassment of this country's history and everything that people did to build it to the way it is now is built a lot on slavery, and that history is horrible, and we need to continue sharing it so that we can learn from our mistakes and be better. So yeah, this is the PHILIPSBURG Manor. I'm getting ready to go on my tour of PHILIPSBURG Manor, and I'm just checking out some of the posters in here. It seems like most of the history is about slavery and the Revolutionary War, so I'm not going to put that in because I'm whispering.
Below, you would have a spindle on top, and this water. Now, Caesar was the master miller. One of the most important jobs he had was. Now, everything has been taken apart, so pieces are here, there, and everywhere. Outside is the water wheel. Goes through a set of gears over here. The big gear here is called the face gear. That faces the water wheel outside.
A New World Duck Barn, which was built in New England and in Essex County in New York, and that's the only place. Had something going on. This was the busiest time because it was harvest time, but they had to plant the field. They made bread and hard support the revolution was rewarded basically by being able to purchase the land that they had previously.
So behind me is the PHILIPSBURG Manor, and I just finished my almost 2-hour tour of the grounds. And they were calling this place a provisions plantation, so hello. They had 23 enslaved people here, and we just kind of like went over the jobs that they did here. And this building right here is the only like factually, oh, there's people in there. That building is the only one that was actually here. This one is recreated, but yeah, this building right here is haunted by the 23 enslaved people that lived here. They didn't really like allude to like the abuse and like the hauntings on the tour, but I did learn a lot about like how they ate and how they lived. it was pretty cool. But yeah, that's the PHILIPSBURG Manor, and the Phillips family kind of monopolized over the entire Hudson Valley area during this time. It's crazy. Yep, all on the backs of enslaved people. So it seems like they're doing a good job, like, informing everybody and trying to be better about it. Yeah, because I'm in downtown Sleepy Hollow now, just for a second, that all of the street signs are like orange and they have like the headless horseman on them. It's just a cute little touch. So I finally found some solitude. I found this like random housing community called Ichabod's Landing. Trying to get to the waterfront yeah, there's nothing I can do about the sound of construction, so you're gonna have to just deal, unfortunately. I think it's so funny that on literally every sign in this little village, there is a headless horseman on every sign. It's everywhere. Oh my god, like every sign, headless horseman. It's so funny. Yes, the waterfront. So this is the famous Hudson River. Goes all the way down to Manhattan. All the way down. This river is very important for transporting goods down to Manhattan and then out to the rest of the world. And there was this boat ship called the Blue Moon. No, the Half Moon. Blue Moon is a beer. The Half Moon crew, I can't remember the story behind them. This was like a last minute addition. The waterfront was a last minute addition. Yeah, so apparently the Half Moon ship can sometimes be seen randomly, and the members of the crew can be seen wandering around randomly. Here's another view from behind. And then another known ghost is an unnamed villager who apparently got intoxicated and stumbled and drowned into the river. So sometimes you can see him stumbling around, trying to figure out where to go, but unfortunately he stumbled and drowned in the river, so his ghost haunts this place. So Andre was the guy that was executed at Patriots Park, and Brigadier Anthony Wayne is the one that gave the orders for the execution, and they both haunt the area, but Wayne does not go near Patriots Park where Andre is, and so he has been seen to haunt in numerous locations up and down the waterfront. So yeah, this one's a little more shambly in the history, but it's the Hudson River all the way down to Manhattan. This part of the world is so hilly. I just have to start hauling ass because the Sleepy Hollow Cemetery closes at 4:30, and that I cannot miss. that. That is crucial information. Alright, so it's looking like where I am now is a park known as Patriots Park. And the story I kind of had to tell backwards because we went to the water first. So let me just tell the story that I was going to tell before we went to the water. A cheese stick on the ground. It's a lot smaller than I imagined, Patriots Park. What happened here? So Patriots Park, Major John Andre was caught by 3 American militiamen with papers describing the defenses at West Point. I don't know what any of that means, but they did not like to hear that. So his conspiracy with Benedict Arnold was exposed, and he was sentenced to death by hanging. Andre was angry at both the Americans for denying his request to be executed by firing squad and the British for refusing an offer to exchange for Benedict Arnold. He died in a rage. His ghost is said to roam Patriots Park, where he can be heard reciting a poem he penned. What hero could refuse to tread the rugged path to fame? So he haunts these grounds in a rage because he wanted to be executed by firing squad and not hanged. So yeah, sorry about it. And then the guy that made the orders to execute him haunts the waterfront, and he does not come around here. Also, it was like a 19-minute walk from the water to here, so I don't know why you would come over here anyways, but whatever. Let's go check out some of the little architecture in Patriots Park. It's quite beautiful, actually. Oh. There's no water. This, like, I don't know. It's kind of scary. No water at all. Like, at any of the locations I was at today so far, where, I mean, the provisions plantation that I was at was like a mill run on water, and there was literally no water in the river that used to solely run on water. Patriots Park. Gorgeous. Historic Tarrytown. I was not lying. Andre captured here in 1780, blah, 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 blah. You read it, and then I guess that's him up there. So maybe he just comes down. Wow. Horrible. That's spooky. Boy, come down off your little step up there, Andre. Alright. Now we're going to the Sleepy Hollow Cemetery, which is like a 30-minute walk. I need like a cold beverage immediately. Something funny that I saw when I was driving in to Sleepy Hollow earlier is that there's like hay scarecrows on like every post. I mean every post on the street once you pass into Sleepy Hollow, which there's the sign right there. Sleepy Hollow. And you can always tell you're there because then the street signs turn orange, which is really funny. But yeah, we have to walk 30 minutes up the, yep, literally, see, I'll show you. The street signs immediately turn orange once you get into Sleepy Hollow, technically. And as far as like Sleepy Hollow versus Tarrytown, I'm pretty sure it's kind of like Minneapolis, St. Paul vibes. It's like the twin towns. Orange. So we are passing by the old Dutch church right now. Wow. And now we are in Sleepy Hollow Cemetery, and I am on the quest to find the Bronze Lady. So I'll let you know when I find her. Washington Irving. That's where he's buried. Wow. Okay, so apparently the Bronze Lady is like way up at the top. So we're gonna go on a journey, see who we find along the way. I feel like definitely, absolutely, in all of my other spooky locations videos that I've done, I've always left the cemetery for last. So I never really like walk around, and I like never remember just how large they are. So I don't even think we're halfway to the Bronze Lady at this point. Yeah, but it makes me want, like, I feel like I missed out a lot on the cemeteries in Bangor and Philadelphia specifically, because it was just like complete darkness when we got there, and I was too freaked out to like hang out. But yeah, this is peaceful. Before we get there, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Sleepy Hollow's second most known legend in town. It's mostly like a local, don't hit me. It's mostly like a local legend amongst like the teenagers. That is the legend of the Bronze Lady. There was a Civil War general named Samuel Thomas, and when he died, his wife, Anne, God, I hate it when people walk by me when I'm trying to talk. Samuel Thomas died. His wife, Anne, wanted his burial site to be extreme and extra. She did not think the elaborate mausoleum was enough, so she hired Andrew O'Connor, the top sculptor in the industry at the time, to create this bronze lady for his mausoleum. So when Andrew was done, Anne took a look at it and she said, this bronze lady sculpture is too depressing. And so she was like, can you come back with something stronger? And so Andrew said, sure thing, girl. So he went and he redid the head, and then he came back and made a happier head for the bronze lady. And Anne said, yes, please. That's exactly what I wanted. And then O'Connor threw the head down and it broke into a million pieces. So she was pissed, and now the bronze lady stands as it is, with the depressing look on her face, as it should, since it's like a memorial. So the legend is, if you go and you touch the bronze lady, you'll have bad luck or you'll be cursed. And so kids will come here in the middle of the night and touch the bronze lady and see what happens and see if she gets up, blah, blah, blah. But I saw photos of this bronze lady and she looks pretty creepy, so let's go check it out. I'm pretty sure this is the Rockefeller Memorial Mausoleum, whatever. Mausoleums are weird to me. I feel like it's strange. I don't know. Make me into a tree. I don't know. Oh, these are all mausoleums now. So creepy. God damn it, I found her. This is so creepy. I'm not gonna touch this thing, but why is no one flocking to... Girl. It's the bronze lady. Mournful looking. So apparently if you touch the bronze lady at night, she will curse you. So I found her. And that's his mausoleum wasn't good enough. Wow. That's crazy. This is like a local legend, so I guess that's why no one's over here. I don't want to be here anymore. Bye. I'm just trying to leave and I keep ending up going in circles. I just want a lemonade and to go home. I'm tired of this history. Ugh. So it's like the never-ending rolling hills for me, actually. You just can't ever find your way out. Why is there a shoe? Okay. I thought this was just like a innocent thing, and then it's someone's grave. Baby girl Cleveland. Well, that's really big for a baby. It's literally a whole baby's grave. So on the internet, it said that the best accurate representation of the bridge that inspired the Headless Horseman story is the one in the Sleepy Hollow Cemetery, which I did find right here. So this is kind of what would have inspired this story over the Pontacado, whatever river you call it. Yeah, it's really pretty. There seems to be water here. But yeah, in the story you have to get over the bridge, and the Headless Horseman was not going to cross the bridge and then you'd be safe on the other side, but Ichabod did not make it across the bridge. So we did pass the old Dutch church, but we're gonna go back and like actually look at it now that we've gone through the cemetery. The old Dutch church has its own burial grounds, which we saw Washington Irving was buried there. But there are a couple of other people buried here that inspired his story. So a couple of them that I'm going to talk about. Abraham Martling is the inspiration for Brom Bones, who is like the cool, muscly dude in the story who told Ichabod the story of the Headless Horseman, etc. He ends up getting the girl. Eleanor Van Tassel is the inspiration for Katrina Van Tassel, the girl that Ichabod tries to court, etc. And then Baltus Van Tassel is the inspiration for her father. Fun fact is he used to live in Sunnyside as well, generations before Washington Irving's family. And then Samuel Young is the inspiration for Ichabod Crane. And then on a very unrelated note, there is a woman called Huldah the Witch. Huldah the Witch. Another, tale. Huldah the Witch was an immigrant from Bohemia, and apparently during the American Revolution, she came out and she started taking down some redcoats. And they didn't really like that too much, so she fell mortally wounded in that battle. And then they later found her will said all of her money and possessions would go to the widows of the patriots in the American Revolutionary War. So, Huldah the Witch. Oh yes. There's an empty patch of ground at the old Dutch burying ground, whatever. You can see it over there. We'll go see it closer. Apparently he's buried here in this patch of grass that I'll show you. Okay. Headless. We'll go up close. Inside the old Dutch church. There it is. The old Dutch church. So this church was directly referenced in the story of the Headless Horseman, Sleepy Hollow. You got to get past the bridge by the old Dutch church in order to be safe from the Headless Horseman. There it is. One more little view. So I'm now walking across the bridge that has been deemed the Headless Horseman Bridge, although we know for a fact that the origin of the bridge story, like the location is unknown because the original bridge disintegrated a long time ago and then it was rebuilt and then someone along the way was like, this is going to be the bridge. So here's the river again. The one in the cemetery is a better representation of what the bridge would have looked like, but this one has been deemed the official Headless Horseman Bridge, even though I don't know. I feel like it's very commercialized. It's not really like authentic looking. I don't know, whatever. There we go. You can see over there the bridge. Hey everybody, it is day 2 of our Sleepy Hollow Tarrytown Spooky Locations tour. Oh my god, this is so spooky. On the Rockefeller State Park Reserve is a rock called Raven's Rock, and this rock is referred in the Sleepy Hollow legend. I don't really remember if it's in the actual story. There's an illustration of Ichabod Crane riding the horse past Raven's Rock, and then the Headless Horseman, etc., etc. So Raven's Rock is a real rock, and it's really haunted by 3 ghosts. All 3 of them are women, and they're from 3 different eras of time. the directions to get there the fastest on the internet, and I literally don't have directions. I have like a map with I don't know. I think it'll be pretty easy to get there because these trails are like on Apple Maps. Like you can actually follow them on your phone with your GPS. Like they're actual real trails. So it's not like I'm gonna be out here like lost. Also, we're like right next to a highway. This is a very heavily trafficked road, but oh my god, like the fog is so creepy and like beautiful. This is like what I'm gonna be hiking through. It's also giving like Exorcism of Emily Rose vibes, and I really hate that movie. Hopefully the fog burns up enough so that way I can like see the rock formation, because I have to imagine that if like 3 people perished at this rock, that it's got to be a big rock. So, okay. Yes, yard work. Go. So the first ghost that's apparently at Ravens Rock is the more well-known one. She's called the Woman in White, and apparently during like colonial times, apparently during colonial times she was trying to seek refuge during a snowstorm and hid away under the rock. Like, it's a big rock. I think she was like trying to like huddle herself like in the bottom of the rock, like under the rock. And she perished in the night. It was just too much for her. So the Woman in White perished during a snowstorm at Ravens Rock. And then the second ghost is a woman, a Native American woman who was pushed off a rock by a jealous lover. And then the last spirit is of a colonial girl who was being pursued by a man. A colonial girl was being pursued by a man during the Revolution era, and she jumped off the rock and perished to her death. So yeah, not great. Very traumatic deaths for the 3 of those ladies. And it looks like we're coming up on our trailhead here. So here's where the trail starts. Geez, I'm already kind of scared. Eerie. Alright, looks like we're going into the woods, guys. Woo! We're coming to our first turn. Come into the woods and you turn left. This is kind of my method. I'm like going against this trail, and then I'm just like following on my phone to make sure that I'm like in the right, you know what I mean? It's too foggy for ghosts. Let's just like, we're here to see the rock. What is this? What? Wow. It's the sound of the Sawmill Parkway for me. You can literally hear the highway so bad right now. Welcome to New York. Wow, look at these hills. We're up here, man. Let's go. This has got to be hands down one of the most beautiful trails I've ever been on. Anyways, I can see now that the trail is getting smaller. We're getting a little hillier. Wow. Looks like it's raining again a little bit. Perfect. We're getting to we're like halfway right now. It's good. I'm having a great time. So I'm starting to see some rocks. Starting to see some real big rocks around here. So I got to imagine that Raven Rock is like massive. Like I want to be profoundly I want my soul to be snatched at Raven's Rock. Oh damn, I think I see our final path, which means we're gonna decline straight into hell. I can't wait. Yeah, baby. Here we go. It looks like this final part of the trail is you just go straight towards the rock, and I hope that it just like opens up in the distance. That would be so gorgeous. Here we go. Kind of what it looks like. Just straight on down. The highway is right there, and it's just like a buzzkill for any sort of like spooky, I don't know. Wow. Oh my god, this is beautiful. It looks like Avatar. Jeez. There's a little bike path down there too. I saw some bikes. Can't wait. I have a feeling this is it. It's like, it's the end. Ooh. Wow. My expectations were met. Oh, I get it. Holy crap. Oh, that is cool. Wow. See the little raven face? Oh my god, this is cool. It's so much bigger than I'm sure it looks on film, but wow. And that's it. That's where the trail ends. Staring straight at this raven face. Jesus Christ. Yeah, you could definitely jump off here and die, that's for sure. Wow. Oh my god. I love this rock. This rock is so cool. I took a picture like with me really close to it from far away so you could see how actually big it is. It's so big. Oh my god, yeah. Definitely required to come out here. It's so cool, the little raven face. It's right there, if you can tell. Wow, Raven's Rock. So cool. Alright. Raven Rock is in the distance here. Definitely did not disappoint. Worth the walk out here. It was less than an hour walk out here. Yeah, so fulfilled there. Well, that location concludes my spooky locations tour of Sleepy Hollow / Tarrytown. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the new camera. I was tired of using my phone, and it was really hard to edit that way. So yeah, I'm very, very happy with it. Very happy with all that I learned with my tours and visits, and I hope you learned something too. Comment where you think I should go next. This one was definitely a highlight, Raven's Rock. Just like the build up, the hike, the beauty. This is a great time of year to come, even though it was raining today. It really like gave the energy that I needed to be like, wow. Just like the rock was so cool. Sleepy Hollow, it was great spending Halloween week with this little town, and I will definitely be coming back. So cool. to learn about the urban legend of Sleepy Hollow more. I also bought a book called The Chronicles of Tarrytown and Sleepy Hollow, and I didn't get to read it yet, so I'll probably learn a little more about like the mysterious happenings of the town. It's like 150 pages long, which I literally couldn't even be bothered to do that, so there's more to learn. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, etc.